Suddenly, a pile of property ownership certificates fell out of thin air in front of the woman. The woman couldn't believe it. She looked at everything in front of her. It was unimaginable that just now they had nowhere to go, but now they had so many property ownership certificates in their hands. Instantly, the woman beamed with joy. However, when she opened the door of the villa, she found that there was nothing inside. It didn't meet the living conditions at all. Having no choice, they still had to wander on the streets. At this time, the woman only had $5 on her. She couldn't even afford a breakfast. Unexpectedly, just at this moment, a black car sped by. The little girl immediately used her special ability to make the man in the car hear her thoughts. After hearing it, the man immediately asked the driver to brake. He asked the driver if he had heard someone talking, and then prepared to get out of the car to find out what was going on. But after getting out of the car, he found that there was no one else. He only saw a woman and a baby who couldn't speak by the roadside. At this time, the man thought that it was because he was under too much work pressure, that he had auditory hallucinations. Unexpectedly, just when the man was about to leave, that familiar voice rang out again. At this moment, he finally determined that the person who was speaking was that baby who couldn't speak. Immediately after that, the man walked to the woman's side. The woman slowly raised her head. When their eyes met, both of them had a feeling of déjà vu. Little did they know that just 1 year ago, the girl was framed by her scheming sister. By accident, she had an intimate encounter with the man for one night, and 10 months later, the woman gave birth to a lovely baby. However, after the baby was born, the vicious stepmother occupied the woman's house. On the other hand, the president was also looking for the woman's whereabouts. Just after the girl was driven out of her home, the man also found out that the girl who had interacted with him at that time was the daughter of the Lin family. So, the man brought a sky-high betrothal gift to propose to the girl. At this time, the scheming sister was shocked when she learned of the man's identity as the richest man, so she decided to take the woman's identity instead. Then the president took the scheming sister back home. At this time, the girl asked the man if he could lend her some money to buy food. She took out the property ownership certificates from her bag and said that she didn't have any cash on hand, but the man thought she was a liar, so he refused the woman immediately. Unexpectedly, at this time, the woman called him again. She said that they hadn't eaten for 3 days and 3 nights. She hoped that the man could help them. However, looking at the lovely child in the stroller, the man finally agreed to the woman's request. He took the two of them to his home and prepared a sumptuous meal for them. Unexpectedly, just when the girl was happily eating the meal, the scheming sister walked in carrying a bunch of luxury items. However, when she clearly saw the face of the woman eating in the dining room, she was instantly scared out of her wits.